Hey Slayers, and welcome to hold on, let me turn the volume down a little bit. Welcome to Virtua Fighter 3 for the Sega Dreamcast. Now this game is a totally different beast to Soul Calibur. Now originally, if you know, I compared them in my Soul Calibur review, and we're just gonna go with Akira, just to keep it simple. Originally I compared them, but now going back and playing the two, now as you know, now at the end of the day, I kind of think that Soul Calibur is, I don't know how to explain, but a better game, I guess you can say. Don't get me wrong, Virtua Fighter is still an awesome experience. But the thing I realized about both games is they're two totally different beasts. And what do I mean by this? Well, it's really kind of hard to compare them just because they play totally different, right? If you know what I'm saying, they play totally different. Virtua Fighter 3, at least in my opinion, at least the third game, plays a little bit slower than like Soul Calibur. But where Soul Calibur kind of seemed like a fast-paced game, and the reason I had compared them in the first place was because I had never played Virtua Fighter 3. Well, I have played Virtua Fighter 3. I mean, I more so hadn't had that much experience with Virtua Fighter 3. Like, I remember doing like one match and then that was it, and then I just kind of moved on because I was always more. At first, I really did not enjoy the Virtua Fighter series, but then I gave it another look and I was like, well, actually no, the series is pretty fun, and now I'm a big fan of the Virtua Fighter series. I would love to see a return of the series, but compared to Soul Calibur, these two are two different games. Soul Calibur is like a fast-paced, everybody has weapons type of game, whereas Virtua Fighter is hand-to-hand combat, and it just feels a lot slower paced. But it works because that's how the game was designed. And some things are confusing to me in this game. Like, I swear, sometimes right now we're having 4 rounds, right? But then sometimes it'll just be 1 round and I'll fight somebody different. And then sometimes once I win a round, the stage will change. And it's just, I'm like, what's going on here? But maybe I got a messed up copy. Also, one thing I do want to say real quick. Redream. If someone who works on Redream ever hears this, please fix the app up a little bit, because some games I know I've tried, a few games won't have the box art, which, I mean, it's just kind of a nitpick, and that's not even the point of this video. We're talking about Virtua Fighter, not Redream the emulator, but there's the kind of nitpick. In fact, I thought about doing, I always wonder this. You guys, if you're into this far into the video, comment down below. I thought about doing a cool series where we take a look at different emulators for different emulators and give them reviews on Android. Like, I'm more so mean Sega console emulators, but I definitely will do something like that if you want to. Tomorrow, I think, and then we're going to start looking at more 32X and Sega CD games, too, because I don't give those consoles enough love, if you want to call them consoles. I don't really call them consoles, the add-ons, but you understand, I don't give them enough love now. Now everything, especially like this past week, things kind of move fast this week, so I just kind of been all on Dreamcast, going full in, trying to give you guys the best Dreamcast content that I've been promising for years. I don't actually mean years, but you know what I mean. I've been promising this since probably the start of my channel that I was going to start doing Dreamcast games, and here we are. But next week, things should be a lot more varied. But Monday, Mortal Monday returns. Yeah, because there is one more Mortal Kombat to look at, and that's Mortal Kombat 4 for the Dreamcast. Yeah, so Monday, Mortal Monday does return, at least for one time. It's not going to stay here. Tomorrow, I want to look at a puzzle game for the Dreamcast. Like I said, this is kind of the week of Dreamcast. Next week will be a lot more varied, I guess you could say. Maybe I might switch off one week will be. Let me know, guys, how you guys think I should do the schedule for Dreamcast versus Dreamcast and Genesis titles. Should I do 1 week predominantly Dreamcast, 1 week predominantly Genesis? Should I try and mix the two up? And if you pick that option, what should it be? Maybe beginning of the week will be Dreamcast territory and ending will be Genesis, or the other way around. Early week is Dreamcast, later week Genesis. Just tell me what you guys want to see. If you want to see more Sega CD games, I'll look at more Sega CD. You want to look at 32X, I'll look at 32X. Saturn, that's really a no-go unless you're really willing to deal with like crappy, choppy frame rates. But prices on Virtua Fighter 3, getting back to the main topic of the video, prices on Virtua Fighter 3 are kind of, I don't want to say I don't want to say expensive. Again, I don't want to say expensive. More mid-range, I guess you can say. Because I've seen some used copies in the 20s and some even in the like 15s and around that area. I've seen some copies there, so the game is not too expensive, and it definitely is fun. Do I recommend it over Soul Calibur? Like I said, yes and no at the same time. Because, like I said, they're two different beasts to me, at least in my opinion. I know they're both 3D fighters, but they play different enough to be classified as like their own thing. Like Virtua Fighter, like I said, Virtua Fighter is more of a slower paced traditional like fighting game. Well, not like a fighting game; it's slower paced fighting game, but more of a like traditional type of 3D fighter, like Tekken and well, I guess Virtua Fighter technically popularized the genre. How does this compare to Virtua Fighter 2, though? Oh, the game is miles better than Virtua Fighter 2. Kinda. Virtua Fighter 2 is still the best in the series to me, but this game, as far as like looks and music goes, this game does it better, at least in my opinion. Virtua Fighter, though, man, the series has always looked good and ran perfectly. Like, these environments, I know this is still, like, even on the Dreamcast standards, this looks... If I'm being honest, you could have convinced me this was an Xbox 360 game. Yeah, one generation up, because it does look that good to me. At least to me, anyway. But, I mean, all in all, Virtua Fighter is definitely a 10 out of 10. Like, solid. Virtua Fighter 3, 10 out of 10. Virtua Fighter was getting nothing under. But I just wanted to kind of reevaluate that the games are kind of not similar. They're totally different from each other, Soul Calibur and Virtua Fighter. And now I see that now, so I can't really compare them as much as I did in that video, because I make a comparison to it a lot in that video, but they really are two different beasts in their own right. And as for which one you should pick up, definitely go with whatever your instincts is. If you like a slower paced fighting 3D fighter game, then go with Virtua Fighter 3. If you like a faster paced weapons based 3D fighter game, Soul Calibur's your man. And there's a lot of different ways you can go in the series. I know there's a Soul Calibur 1, there's a Soul Calibur 2, but we can't really look at that because it's on the GameCube and PS2, and we don't do those systems here. And since the game's not a Sega game, we're definitely not going to do them. It's not like my phone could run them anyway. But still, these Dreamcast games are still doing good. But I'm just going to win this match, and then I'm going to end the video. So, if you stayed here this whole video, thank you. And if you're new here, if you could subscribe, that would really be awesome. It would really make my day. Still trying to get to 200. So, it would be... Wow, was I actually going to grab from here? It would be really helpful if you could subscribe. That's really going to do it for this video. I've been the world's coolest Sega enthusiast, Sega Slayer 64. And remember, let me know how I should do the schedule. There's a couple different routes we could go, like I said. We can do 1 week Dreamcast, 1 week Genesis, predominantly Dreamcast, 1 week predominantly Genesis. We could switch off. We could do Genesis early in the week, Dreamcast late in the week, or Dreamcast early in the week, Genesis late in the week, or for the guys out there who want more Sega CD 32X, speak up, start recommending some of those games, and we'll do those two too. I've been kind of leaving those out lately, and who knows? Maybe now that we have Dreamcast options, we could look at what is the definitive version again. And what I mean, well, because now we have the option to look at the Dreamcast, Genesis, and Master System, Game Gear, and don't worry, those consoles aren't going anywhere either. More so when I say Genesis, I more so mean Genesis, Master System, and Game Gear, like all bunched together. But yeah, just let me know what systems you want to see the most of on this channel. Let me see what you want to see more of. If you like Game Gear games, go ahead and let me know. If you like Master System, let me know. Genesis, let me know. Hey, I'll even do SG-1000. You guys want it. But that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, have a good one, Slayer.